Right, so that token at the back of the Grail Knights means that they got the buff, so they're +1 strength and toughness. And after combat, it's really just a push. I mean, he killed one of my guys. I think I killed a couple of his, whatever. But yeah, we're just standing there. Over here, I killed through wounds and combat res. I killed two of the blood crushers, and this I was really surprised. I assumed they had 3 wounds each, and it turns out they only have 2 wounds each. Which, yeah, my opponent's playing them just for fluff reasons. Yeah, neither one of us are convinced those guys are wonderful in combat. So anyway, my Knights of the Realm are now out of combat, so they're going to turn to face the Great Unclean One, and everybody else there is locked in. So, Demons turn 3. The guys that have beat my Knights Errant here turn towards the middle. He's got a spellcaster there in the back. Otherwise, not a whole lot moves around. He moves his flamers over to shoot. So there's an overall look at the board. Yeah, so they shoot at me. I don't know if he killed any or not. I just don't remember. I don't think so. This combat was just a bunch of killingness. I killed a bunch of his guys, but he killed a bunch of mine. I'm down to 1 Grail Knight, but he held. And at the end of the turn, his Blood Crusher's gone. And now on my turn, I'm going to be set to charge. So his Flamer's moving over to shoot. Now they're set up for a charge by my Knights Errant without being able to stand and shoot. So that's probably not wonderful for them. So Brett's turn 4, my men-at-arms get the charge into the flank of the Plague Bearers, so very happy with that. I really need to pop them this turn, because if not, that unit at my far left is going to hit my men-at-arms in the back, and that isn't going to be good for anybody on the Bretonnian side. Otherwise, you see all those charges into the Great Unclean One. Hey, these guys decided to rally, stay in the fight. That was nice of them. Pull her out of the house. She's going to turn herself into a dragon, so I wasn't sure how best to position her, but I like the idea of just keeping her out of sight of his spellcaster just in case he wanted to pick on her. Yeah, very happy about this. I really need combat res and wounds to pop these guys. I'm just not sure I can do it. So, yeah, Knights Errant went into the Flamers. That'll be easy enough. The problem is with everybody else, really my plan here is to combat res this guy to death. He has a very high toughness, and he's got 10 freaking wounds on him. So I really don't know how to handle it. The Questing Knights have the banner that gives them flaming attacks. The problem is he's just going to issue a challenge. And I was really tempted to decline the challenge. And if I did that, I lose the ward save on all those units there. And in the end, I decided just to go ahead and accept the challenge, because I didn't think I was going to put a whole lot of wounds on him through combat anyway, because he's toughness 6, I think. So my plan is, that's fine. He can just keep on challenging me for a while, and hopefully my combat res between, I've got a side flank, a rear flank, banner, battle standard bearer, war banner. I'm hoping just to combat res him to death and get lucky that way. So other views of it. Yeah, so I'm actually remodeling my dragon model. I finally got the spell off. My mage is now a dragon, and we're using one of his blood crushers to represent it. I think the wound is from a miscast in order to get that spell off. Shooting kills a few of these guys. And after combat, I think he has 2 wounds on him now. The combat res plan didn't work a whole lot. The Flamers are gone. My Knights Errant are looking at his spellcaster, so he's going to move his spellcaster into the house on his next turn. So there in the middle, you can see my Grail Knight got killed. I didn't really come even close to popping that unit of Plague Bearers. So now my men-at-arms, they are buffed with +1 strength and toughness, but they've got a Plague Bearer unit in their rear, and that isn't good at all. Yeah. So after combat, men-at-arms are gone. 1 unit makes it into the flank of my Questing Knights, which is unfortunate. If you look at the top, the wounds on that Great Unclean One is up from 2. It looks like he's at 4 wounds now, so the combat res is working a little bit. I'm not sure it's working fast enough. So at the end of combat, yeah, we all hold. Luckily, I was able to do quite a few wounds on those Plague Bearers, but yeah, my Questing Knights aren't looking good at all. So Brett's turn 5. My Knights Errant actually charged the spellcaster in the house and failed the charge. Otherwise, yeah, we're all just locked in combat. My So we replaced the model. We used a big Tyranid model for the dragon. I thought it looked better. So he moves up and shoots fire on these guys, and despite their regen, they are still squishy because of my flaming attack. So a lot of them die. And in combat, yeah, we almost killed the last of that unit to my left, but overall, not killing these guys nearly as fast as I need to. So, Demon's turn 5. So he gets a charge into my rear with the Questy Knights. That's not going to help one bit. He casts a spell on my Knights Errant, and I went down from 7 guys to 4, and then he's got a bunch of Nurglings behind me. So didn't love to see that, although I don't really need a whole lot for those Knights Errant now. Nevertheless, yeah. So at the end of combat, Questy Knights are all dead. I don't know if they broke from combat or just got killed. I really think they just got killed. So he has one guy left from the one unit of Plague Bearers, saving him full points, and then he's got that other unit of Plague Bearers, greatly weakened, but nevertheless still doing okay. And I told him to go ahead and reform his general to face me, so he wouldn't have those two, the rear flank and the side flank. And he didn't. I was the one who suggested it, and then I realized later that because I was in his flank and back, he couldn't reform. So whatever, that was my mistake. But he reformed there. So go to Brett's turn 6. Really, a lot of the movement doesn't matter. I did charge the dragon into his lone Plague Bearer. There we go. That'll be an easy fight, and then I hope to overrun and make it into the Great Unclean One. If you look at the top, my Knights Errant charge the building because he's got a spellcaster in there. Yeah. So now I've got, again, I only get 1 flake bonus, but now I get the dragon in there who can just do a lot of attacks. This time I did decline a challenge. You can see my Battle Standard Bearer is behind there. And so there won't be any challenge. And we're just hoping the dragon with all his attacks can take the remaining wounds off of that Great Unclean One. And I don't know what he was at. He was down to just a few wounds left. And after combat, I was able to get the wounds on him. Between getting wounds on him and then a bad instability roll, he popped. If you look at the upper left, the Knights Errant killed the sorcerer in the house. And I think with only 3 guys attacking, their horses don't attack. No lance bonus. I was actually really, really lucky to get that. But again, I think I did 1 wound on him, and then the extra wound with the instability roll popped him. So at the end of the game, yeah, getting the dragon spell off finally worked. If you follow my series, you know I try to get it off all the time. I finally got that spell off, and it actually worked. That's the thing that killed the Great Unclean One, which totally swung the game. So in the end, he's got a couple of Nurglings, and he's got a Herald and some Plague Bearers, and I'm losing a whole lot too. But I think by and large, Bretonnians grabbed the victory here. So fun game. Hope you enjoyed it.